And we'll be starting lying down this morning, so find a comfortable lying down position on the mat with the knees bent, soles of the feet to the mat. Lovely. And you can bring your arms close, and your arms can, or perhaps just resting on your belly. Depends what you need this morning. If you need a bit more grounding, perhaps you can rest the hands on the belly. That's more of a grounding pose. Relax your shoulders, relax the muscles in the face. Take a few conscious breaths. And allow the breath to bring you to the present moment. Bring you here on your mat on this Thursday morning. And take the opportunity to do a little check-in to see how are you feeling this morning. How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling emotionally? Just checking in. Taking a couple more conscious, deep breaths here. Lovely, and then we'll flutter the eyes open. And if your hands aren't there yet, you can bring your towards the sky. So we'll come into a bridge pose here. Strong legs, hip points pointing up to the sky. And then we'll really start to bring our weight into our left foot. And inhale, lengthen the right leg up towards the ceiling. Foot is flexed, so you should be able to see your toes. Inhale, exhale, lower the hips down towards the mat, but without touching it, keeping it in. Inhale, bring the hips back up. Exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale, come back up. One last time, we'll lower the hips down. Inhale, back up, and then we'll lower the right foot back down to the mat. Bridge pose. One more inhale here, and then on an exhale, we'll lower the spine and the hips back down to the mat. Lovely. And for a moment here, if you want, you can bring your feet a bit further apart and just drop the knees in towards each other so that they're resting against each other. Perhaps close the eyes briefly. Lovely. And then we'll flutter the eyes open again. We'll bring the knees away from each other so that they're parallel to where we started. And then again, we'll really press into the feet and bring the hips up to the sky. Again, bridge pose, nice and strong. Lovely. And then we'll press into the right foot and lengthen the left leg up towards the ceiling. Nice straight left leg. Flex the left foot so that you can see your toes. Inhale deeply. Exhale, lower the hips down an inch off the mat. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come back up. One last time. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come back up. And then we'll lower the left foot back down to the mat. Breathe deeply. Bridge pose here just for one breath. And then again we'll lower the spine and the hips back down to the mat, to where we started. Lovely. And then let's bring the knees into the chest and give the knees a big hug here. Lovely. And perhaps you can also circle the ankles as you're here with the knees into the chest. Starting to warm up the extremities of the body. Beautiful. And then we'll right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. We'll draw some circles with the knees. So bringing the knees away from you, opening them wide, and then back into the chest. Open wide and then back in. Circling the knees here to really oil the hip joints. One more circle in this direction. And then we'll draw circles in the opposite direction. And notice how by doing this, we're also giving our lower back a gentle massage as it's moving on the mat and rolling out. Lovely. One more like this. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest. Place the hands behind the thighs and we'll roll up and down a few times, gathering momentum. Waking up the spine. Beautiful. Until we find ourselves in a comfortable seated position. We'll be here just for a moment. And what we want to do here is start opening up and warming up the shoulders. So we'll inhale and rest our fingertips on our shoulders. And then start drawing circles with the shoulders. So we'll bring the elbows together. And then back. Inhale. Exhale. A few more like this. Try and really squeeze the elbows towards each other. Releasing and warming up the shoulders and the upper back. One more circle in this direction. Lovely. And then we'll reverse the order of the shoulders. So we'll sweep the arms back and really try and squeeze the shoulder blades between each other when the elbows come back. Beautiful. A couple more like this. Lovely. And then we'll release. Give everything a bit of a shake. And let's come into all fours. So in our all fours, we'll tuck all 10 toes under. Spread our hands nice and wide on the mat. Inhale deeply. Exhale, we'll sit back onto our heels, stretching the balls of the feet. Inhale, come up and over the wrists. Exhale, sit back onto the heels. Inhale, come up and over. And carry on like this for a few more times in your own time. Stretching the balls of the feet and warming up the wrists at the same time. Just forward and back a couple more times here. Lovely. And then we'll meet in a neutral tabletop. We can untuck the toes. Press into the left hand. Inhale, sweep the right arm up towards the ceiling. So we're opening up towards the right hand side. Stretching the right hand side of the body. Exhale, we'll bring the right hand back down to the mat. Pressing into the hand. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Gazing at the fingertips. And starting to open up that left side body. Lovely. And then we'll bring the left hand back down to the mat. Let's spread our fingers nice and wide, preparing for our downward facing dog. Tuck all 10 toes under. Inhale deeply, and then on an exhale, we'll lift the knees, peeling the legs up, hips up towards the sky. Long spine. And take any movements that feel good here in your dog, perhaps walking the dog, bending one knee and then the other. Perhaps saying yes with the head, no. Lovely. And then when you're ready to, we'll gently walk the feet to meet the hands at the front of the mat. When we get there, we'll hang here just for a moment in our forward fold. Knees are bent, head is hanging loose. Lovely, and then we'll inhale, bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. And then the next time we'll inhale, bend the knees and sweep the arms all the way up. So we're coming up into mountain pose, sweeping the arms up overhead, gazing at the fingertips. And then on an exhale, we'll bring the hands down to prayer at heart center. Taking a few breaths here in your mountain pose. Feeling the four corners of the feet grounding into the mat. Legs are strong, spine is straight, shoulders relaxed. Lovely. And then we'll release the hands and we'll bring the hands to the waist, to the hips. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart, so roughly 2 fists in between the feet. Inhale deeply, and then on an exhale, we'll start bending the knees and sitting back, almost as if you were sitting. Also lengthen the arms up in front of you. Make sure that you can see your pinky fingers with the corners of the eyes. Sitting a bit lower perhaps, breathing deeply, legs nice and strong, and perhaps you can feel that fire building up in the legs. One more deep breath here. Lovely, and then we'll fold forward. Release. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Pick up the right foot and send it back behind you, dropping the right knee, finding your balance here. And inhale, sweep the arms up, low lunge. Lovely. Inhale, exhale, frame the front foot with the hands. Press into your right hand. Inhale, open up towards the left, bringing the left fingertips up towards the sky. And gradually tuck the toes of the right foot, if they're not tucked already, and gently peel your right knee off the mat. So your right leg will be nice and straight and strong here. One more breath here. Lovely, and then we'll bring the left hand down towards the mat to frame the front foot and step back with your left foot back to plank. Couple of breaths here in your plank pose. Lovely, and then we'll drop the knees, lower down towards the mat, thighs, belly, chest, forehead. Press into the hands, inhale deeply and come up to cobra, peeling the forehead and the chest off the mat. Exhale, coming back down towards the mat. Tuck the toes under, press into the hands and come back through tabletop and outward facing dog. Lovely. Taking a few breaths here in your dog, perhaps walking one foot and then the other, taking any movement that feels good here. And then we'll gently walk the feet to meet the hands at the front of the mat, hanging for a moment in your forward fold. And then we'll inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Folding forwards. One last time, hands to shins, halfway lift, stretching the hamstrings. Exhale, fold forwards. And then on your next inhale, we'll ripple all the way up to mountain pose. Inhaling, bringing the arms up to the sky, gazing at the fingertips, and then bringing the hands down to prayer towards the heart center. Beautiful. Taking a couple of breaths here in your mountain pose. Feeling that grounding through the four corners of the feet. Lovely, and then we'll bring our hands back to the hips and we'll take chair pose one more time. Inhale deeply, exhale, we'll start bending the knees, sitting back. Bringing the arms up to the sky. Make sure you can still see your pinky fingers with the corners of the eyes. And perhaps see if you can sit a little bit deeper this time round. Building up that strength and that heat in the legs. Lovely, and then we'll fold forwards, release. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. And this time we'll pick up the left foot, send it back behind you. Bring the left knee, finding your balance, and then inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Low lunge. Lovely, relaxing the shoulders. And then we'll frame the front foot with our hands. Press into the left hand. Inhale, sweep the right arm up towards the sky, gazing at the fingertips. Side twist. And then tuck the toes of the left foot and gently peel the left knee off the mat. Nice long left leg. Nice and extended. Lovely, and then we'll bring the right hand back down to the front foot and step back to high plank. Beautiful. Nice long line of energy here. And then we'll gently drop the knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, and with control come down to the mat. Thighs, belly, chest, forehead. Press into the hands. Inhale, peel your forehead and chest off the mat, coming to low cobra. Exhale, come back down. And then we'll tuck the toes, press into the hands, come back through tabletop, and then downward facing dog. Lovely. This is the last dog of the day, so take any movements that feel good. And then when you're ready to, we'll all meet in an extended child's pose. So bringing the knees down to the mat, knees wide, draping the torso in between the thighs, resting the forehead on the mat. Breathing deeply here. And allowing the practice to wash over you. Breathe into the sides of the body and breathe into the back of the body. Lovely, and then we'll walk the hands back towards the knees, coming upright, and we'll swing the legs over and out in front of us. And with control, we'll lower down towards the mat. Again, knees, keeping those knees bent. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. Inhale deep. Drop hands towards the right for a supine twist. Gaze either up to the ceiling or over towards the left. And if you want to intensify this twist even more, you can bring your right foot and place it on top of the left knee. So just play with it, see if it's too intense, reverse back to the first movement, but otherwise this can give you a nice extra stretch. Lovely, and then we'll gently release, bringing the foot back down if you'd rested it on the knee, and we'll slowly bring our gaze and our knees back to where we started. One more deep inhale, and then exhale. Drop the knees over towards the left. Gaze up to the ceiling or over towards the right. And then if you want that extra stretch again on this side as well, we'll pick up the left foot and rest it on the outside of the right knee. And then we'll gently release, bring the foot back down to the mat. Inhale, we'll bring the knees back to center, gaze back to center. And then let's just lengthen on, lying in our Shavasana, allowing us to melt into the mat. Nothing is left to do. Perhaps closing your eyes. Lovely, and then we'll let's bring the arm up and over behind us and interlace the fingers and really give ourselves a nice big full body stretch here. If you want to flex the feet and almost press them into an imaginary wall, that can help to intensify the stretch. Imagine as if you were waking up for the first time this morning. Lovely. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest, give the knees a nice hug. And then drop the knees over towards the right, coming into a fetal position, just for one breath. And then press into the left hand, coming up into a comfortable seated position, so just unraveling. Taking a moment to find a comfortable seat and adjusting to being upright again. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up, reaching for the sky, gazing at the fingertips, and bringing them down to heart, through the forehead for kind thoughts, through to the mouth for kind words, and down to heart center for kind actions. And let's bow together to seal the practice. Thank you